Captain Doza, take a look at this.
What is it, Kazuda?
I picked up a distress call on one of the Resistance frequencies.
A distress call?
I think so. It's coming from the Varkana system. It's not too far off.
Yeah, convenient. Feels like a trap to me.
But Resistance frequencies are coded. They're nearly impossible to duplicate. I want to check this out, Captain. All right, we want to check this out.
Count me in.
Yeager.
If it is someone from the Resistance, we need to go and help. We'd want the same if it were us.
You both realize that putting yourselves at risk means you're putting us all at risk.
I don't want to put the Colossus in danger.
Believe me, you already are.
Just give us one rotation, Captain. If we're not back by then, you should leave.
But try to be certain we're coming back.
That's not how it works, Cass.
Well, maybe just one extra minute, just in case.
Are we going or not?
We're going! We're going!
Join me. Together, we can rule the galaxy far from sun.
I am a Jedi, like my father before me.
This is getting out of hand. Now there are two of them.
Hello there, Space Wizards, Plastic Spacemen, and Rebel Princesses. This is Todd Hoffman and Trent Hoffman, and you're listening to Big T, Little T, a Star Wars podcast. Welcome to episode 79. Today we're going to be talking about Star Wars Resistance Season 2. I believe it's episode 11, Missing Agent, and we're going to be talking about that in just a little bit. A lot of news that I feel like we need to cover real quick here. There's so much going on in Star Wars land. I thought it would be appropriate that we talk about a couple things. Okay, first of all, Rancor Black Series is being funded by HasLab here. This is their kind of Kickstarter program for Hasbro. So we had the Jabba's sail barge, and you got your own yak face, and you got exclusive yak face and all this great stuff because it got backed. And then they did the Razor Crest, and everyone was so excited until it blew up in season 2, and like, yeah, this isn't cool, but it got backed as well. And now the Rancor has been put out there in the internet to say, hey, we need this one. And so it's already made a first step, and of course it comes with a 6-inch Gamorrean guard as its first like little bonus feature. Oh man, it's so tempting to get the Rancor. Rancor is one of my favorite creatures in all of Star Wars, and yes, it is right there for the taking. It's just a little expensive. All right, so we also got another big thing that just dropped. Huge. It is my favorite vehicle of all time. It is the the AT-AT Imperial Walker. It's been rumored for a couple months that they're going to do an Ultimate Collector series. And yes, it is official now. The pictures look amazing, but it's $800. So you have it goes on sale, I think the 26th, I'm pretty sure. But let's just kind of walk through that. It's 6,785 replica. It has it stands 24.5 inches high, measures 27 inches long. It comes with like a bazillion minifigures. Let me see how many. You get 9 minifigures, close to a bazillion. So you have General Veers, a snowtrooper commander, 4 snowtroopers, 2 AT-AT drivers, and an attacking Luke Skywalker that you can dangle underneath, obviously with his thermal detonator. But it can fit a whopping 40 figures in this AT-AT. It is truly impressive, and it looks really good. I mean, I have one of the smaller versions. I don't have the motorized Lego AT-AT, but I do have the one that just came out a couple years ago, and it's awesome. But this is truly to scale to the minifigs, and it looks really impressive, especially when they're like sitting in the cockpit. And oh man, it looks really good. There's a lot of seats for these snowtroopers. I guess the AT-AT has a lot of seats for. I don't know if that's in the cross section one, but it has a lot of seats, which is kind of fun. That hey, they're just sitting out, hanging out, just chilling, waiting for, a Commander Veers or General Veers to do his thing. Yeah, it's super cool. So we had that. And then two kind of like Lucasfilm kind of related stuff. So we got the news, I think it was Monday, that Patty Jenkins, the Rogue Squadron movie, which is, there was that little teaser, I think it was D23 or whatever, where she's like roller skating and she's kind of like in an orange flight, X-Wing flight suit, and you kind of get this Top Gun kind of feel. Yeah, it looked really, really cool. And so they come out and say, I think it was Hollywood Reporter. Again, half this stuff does never, ever comes from Lucasfilm, which is also kind of frustrating with the whole thing. But it's stated that because of scheduling conflicts and Ari her commitment, that it's indefinitely suspended. So they could go a couple different ways, but I mean, it sounds like something that they want to do. It's not happening with the current schedule. So I guess you could blame that on COVID a little bit, but it also seems kind of weird that, you kind of have this lined up, you got everything set up, and you just can't close the deal or make sure that she's committed to in order to film appropriately. I mean, again, there needs to be a little lead time with Star Wars because of all the special effects and everything that needs to go into it. There's a lot of post-production, obviously, for a movie like a Star Wars movie. But, yeah, I find this very disappointing. I was excited to see something like this, but it just, once again, it just leaves a sour taste in your mouth that they can't seem to get this movie thing right. And it's going to be kind of this news item stuff is going to be lost when obviously in a couple of days we're going to get Disney Plus and all the wrongs will be righted because there's going to be hopefully an Obi-Wan Kenobi trailer and we will be just, oh, this is so great. But it's just a sad state of affairs there on the movie side. It just seems like they can't get their thing together, and we still have like the Taika Waititi movie out there, the Kevin Feige kind of movie. We have Rian Johnson's movie that was announced in 2017 and now it's 2021 and we still haven't seen the light of day. It's just, yeah, it's just one of those things. And then this came out too, Matt Smith, who is a Doctor Who. Is that how you say it? A Whovian, or is a doctor or whatever. Forever. I mean, like forever, he was attached to the Rise of Skywalker. And there's a lot of rumors. I think he even was on IMDb for a little bit. And then there was that kind of mystery thing where he got pulled off. And so it was like, oh no, that never happened. And again, Lucasfilm never mentioned or anything about that, and you're just like, oh, somehow Palpatine returned and we're all good and Ian McDermott's there and he's a big bad. But it was originally rumored that Matt Smith was either a young Palpatine or a clone of Palpatine, or he was just going to be a bad. He was a bad, right? And so we didn't hear boo about it. But in a recent interview, it just comes out and it's like just throwing gasoline on the fire. But yeah, he was attached to the project. So he was on the Happy, Sad, Confused podcast. And it just, what he said is like, So I'll just read this article. This is coming from an IndieWire. But no, I didn't shoot any scenes, Smith said. We were close to me being in it, and then it never quite happened. I think the thing they were thinking for me for eventually it became obsolete, and they didn't need it. And so I never got to be in Star Wars, and there we are. So Smith said he could not possibly say whether the role was Palpatine's son, but it was teased that this getting the Star Wars fandom worked up, but it was pretty groovy thing. It was really groovy part and concept. It was a big thing. It was a big story, detail, a transformative Star Wars story, detail, and I've never quite got over the line. I mean, it was big, like makes a reducted sound, shifts in history of the franchise, Smith added. There was no costume test, and there were a couple of meetings to talk about. Maybe I can come back, you never know, to come back as the phone starts to cut out. Sorry, my friend. So Matt Smith is currently in Edgar Wright's Last Night in Soho. But yeah, he was on this podcast, and it was kind of just like right there. Whoa, man. It's crazy, man. I just don't understand like any of it really, but yeah, that's the story for another day. You kind of wish like you want to know, but then you don't want to know. It's kind of the same thing like sometimes when you know how the sausage is made, it's like, I just want to eat the sausage and enjoy the sausage. But in this day and age, it is so crazy. You can't escape the news and all that kind of stuff. And then obviously, if you're in it, it's you just get consumed sometimes. Again, it just goes to show you that there was definitely a couple plans. There was the Colin Trevorrow script. There's this Matt Smith thing that was another tangent, and now in the final product. So we'll never know, man. But it's just another thing. And then on top of that, we have Aaron Rodgers, the non-vax quarterback, wearing a Rise of Skywalker hoodie, and it got everybody in a tizzy. So, oh man, it's been quite a week. We usually don't do too much news here, but there's a lot going on there, and I had to say that. And then, obviously, I just mentioned it earlier, Disney Plus coming Friday, Disney Plus Day coming Friday. I believe it starts early in the morning. I think it's only, they're just basically, we're going to have Pixar, Marvel, and Star Wars, and a couple surprises. I just want an Obi-Wan Kenobi trailer. Please, please. Maybe a little behind the scenes Andor or something. I don't know. It should be cool. Anyways. All right. That's all the news of the week. It's crazy week. But let's jump right into Missing Agent. Okay, so the official description for this episode is Kaz leads a strike team to investigate a mysterious resistance distress signal. Okay, so there's this green alien kind of guy. I don't know his name off the top of my head, but he has a BB droid as well. And he's like, we got to get this, information to the resistance. And so he's tailed. He comes, he's in this corner, and it is a bounty hunter that enters the door. He's got these kind of cool, like, helmet-looking thingies. It almost looks like, Sastine? Am I saying that right? Sastine, when he had the, in the Clone Wars, the Gendy ones, he had this cool, like, little space helmet. It kind of looks like a Viking with the horns and all that stuff. And so this guy's got kind of this dirge / boba / kind of just Viking kind of bounty hunter look. Really cool looking dude. And he gets a drop on the green alien dude. Kaz receives this distress call on the Colossus. And yes, we know it's a trap. But he convinces Yeager that, hey, we should investigate it. And then, so they go to the distress call, which is, I believe, Vargo or not Fargo, but Vargo. Kaz brings Serena, who is again Sanera, who is the pirates that she the Marialan. Jeez, these Star Wars species names I am never going to conquer. I'm just not. It's just, it is what it is. So I'll butcher them. But Sanera. I'm so bad. Sanera and Kaz and Jaeger go to this planet, and they're kind of in the market. Of course, Kaz is bumbling, stumbling. He's kind of like, he reminds me a lot of Jar Jar. Like, hey, I'm completely cool. And then he runs in his market. We have a Gran. Yes, a Gran is the three. Regis is the most famous one. That is the action figure from Return of the Jedi. But a Gran has the 3 eye stalks, and then there's that one in Revenge of the Sith where he's talking about stuff, and Palpatine's like, yeah, I got you, man. We need to defend the systems and start the army and blah, blah, blah. But yeah, a Gran is a merchant and trying to get the drop on them, trying to sell them stuff. And he's like, no, we're just trying to meet a friend. They come upon the distress signal. Room's empty. Cass finds a data pad. And then we see the Gran kind of talking to Comlink, yo, got some resistant guys that are going to drop. And guess what? Bounty Hunter shows up. He's got this cool vibro axe. So we saw the vibro axe in Mandalorian when we had piggy wrestling in the first episode of season 2. And it's a common weapon in Star Wars. And it kind of has this like rotating thing around the weapon, and so that's where you get the vibro axe. But yeah, it's a cool weapon. It's a trap, obviously it's a trap, and so we got Sinara fighting the bounty hunter, and they try to get out. It doesn't work out too well with them. She gets kind of separated from the group, and then they are on the run, and they escape that. And then I'm trying to think what happens next. So they confront, they kind of understand that Lychee, based on the data pad, they find out that Lychee probably sold this guy out, and so they confront him. He's got a lot of credits. There's this kind of cool scene where CB is like going to extract information from him, and he runs his little claw around the ground or on this column, and it's very annoying. And so he's trying to be mean and menacing. And it's a really cool. It's just a really cool scene. I really enjoyed that part. But CB trying to be tough because Kaz doesn't have it in him. So they track him down. They track down the agent, and so they get on the ship, and Norath is the guy that they're rescuing. He's kind of a little unconscious, but he gets them up. Blah blah blah. They're ready to go, and it's another trap. They lure him in, and now they're on the bounty hunter's trap. Obviously, the bounty hunter is now, we find out as he dials up Commander Pryor, he's like, hey, got you guys. There's some guy named Kaz as well. And Pryor's like, yeah, let's do this. And he calls him Axe, which is great because he's got an axe. It's a great Star Wars name. It's like, yeah, this dude's Axe. And so Axe the bounty hunter is in there, and I forget his last. I don't know if they give him the full name, but according to Wikipedia, it's Axe Targan, and he is the same species as Sastine. So there you go. There you have it. That's cool. But yeah, Axe reminds me of like Demolition from the good old WWE days. With Demolition, you had Axe and Smash, and then Crush. Yeah, so we have Axe taking them to meet with the First Order. Obviously, Doze is like, yo, we got to get out of here. And Yeager's like, we're trying. Patience, dude, you know? So, obviously, Kaz is like, we got to bring down the ship because we can't get to the First Order. And CB does his thing. And then it kind of disables the ship. The ship crashes. They have to get out. There's this really cool, I really enjoyed the fight scene here. So they get everybody out. So North's out, Yeager's out. Why can't I say her name? Sinara is coming back and trailing them on a speeder bike. And she gets there too. And we got the Vibro-Axe with Axe. And they're having great kind of cool battle sequence there. And you know, Sinara comes on the speeder and they interrupt, and then North and then Kaz are like, we got to get out of here. And then Axe throws his axe and they scream and it's great. But yeah, it's a super fun little sequence there. They get the drop on Axe, but then it's not good because now obviously the First Order shows up and they can't get a rescue team because they're in trouble. And so it kind of ends abruptly, I would say. They see the explosion. So there's this big explosion that essentially Axe like grabs, he extends his Vibro-Axe and makes this kind of like big old ground pound with the axe, and it can't. So Kaz and North can't contact Yeager or Sinara. Jeez, at the end of the episode, I get it right, you know. And so they can't do anything because First Order's there. And yeah, that's how the episode ends. Boom, just like that. So this was cool. I really enjoyed this. I just love, you know, we got a new bounty hunter. I like him. He looks cool. Yeah, it's everything you want in a bag of chips, and it ends abruptly, and you're like, no, it's to be continued. So we got to see what happens next. All right. I really did enjoy this one. So I don't know, 4 T's or something. I don't know. I have to come up with a rating system. It's right there. So again, Space Wizards, Plastic Spacemen, and Rebel Princesses, thanks for listening to another episode of Big T and Little T, a Star Wars podcast. If you want to get a hold of us, you can catch us out on the socials, Big T, Little T on Instagram, BLILT podcast on Twitter, and then twitch.tv/Big T, Little T. Find us out there. It'd be great. Hey, we want to hear from you. So if you have a Star Wars question, or what gets you excited for Disney Star Wars Day, Disney Plus Day, drop us a line. Big T, Little T podcast@gmail.com. Hey, if you take a screenshot of your 5-star review on Apple iTunes and you do that as well, you email us, retweet us, whatever, all that kind of stuff, we'll throw swag right in your face. We got some stickers that we want to give to you, and you know, just kind of show you some love. So definitely do that. Again, that email address is bigtlittlet podcast@gmail.com. I just totally blanked. And then so next week, I believe we are going to pause on Star Wars Resistance 2, just season 2, just for a second, because we got to talk about what's going to happen in the Disney Plus Day reveal. Again, hoping for Kenobi. Say it with me, Kenobi. Yeah, we want to see a Kenobi trailer. That's all I need to know. That's all I want to see. I don't care about anything else. I just want to see that Kenobi trailer. That's it. So there you have it. Again, remember, truly wonderful the mind of the child is, and may the Force be with you always. Bye. See you later. Bye. We'll see ya.
stuck-up, half-witted, scruffy-looking nerf herder.